your video on reciteontv.com. Do it now. Hey kids, you can recite the Quran on TV. That's right, beginning right now.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out.
Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness that Muhammad.
And that's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
And we're coming to you almost live all the way from right here in SC, Southern California. That's right. Well, everybody else is using initials for everything, you know, so I thought I would just come up with that SC. I don't know if you like that or not, but anyway, hey, this is the beginning of our new schedule. Every weekend, every Friday, every Saturday, 2 hours. Count them, boys and girls. Not one, but two. Yes, 2 hours we're going to be coming to you almost live from right here in SC. Let me find out. I think we have somebody waiting in the guest room. Let me introduce one of our guests. And here is Dr. Sultan, all the way from St. Louis. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good to see you again on this exciting program. 2 hours. Wow.
2 hours.
It'll be fun.
No, that'd be 4. Wait a minute. Yeah, 2. Count them 2 fingers over here. All right. Anyway, so what do you think? Is that a good idea?
Fantastic idea.
All right. So, but whenever you have to go do your salah, you can just like, you know, wave bye-bye, and I'll understand.
Okay.
Got that?
Okay. Got it.
And then whenever I got to go do salah, I'll just wave bye-bye, and then you take over. And then when both of us have to go do salah, no, that's not going to be a good idea.
No.
No. Never mind. You know what? I want you sitting there at home right now to listen carefully and share. Share this right now. If you're watching us on social media, then click the link for share. Please do that right now. And if you're watching us on your phone and you don't know how to click on that, it's just like on the computer, you can do that. And if you would just if you're watching this on our satellite, pick up your phone and call somebody and tell them to watch us on our website, guideus.tv. Yeah, .tv. Guideus.tv. I said it right. Okay. Now, let's find out how Dr. Ado thinks about this. Salam alaikum, doctor.
Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you feeling?
Wonderful. Salam alaikum, Dr. Sultan.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's a Friday, right? TGIF.
That's right.
We're here
Yeah.
for not one, but 2 solid hours every Friday night, every Saturday night, if this works out. There's an if clause in this. Look real close at the small print at the bottom of the contract before you sign. if it works out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Inshallah.
and bi'idnillah, if Allah accept this, and bismillah, and with the name of Allah, and inshallah, if Allah wills. How about that? Did I get enough in there?
That's beautiful.
Inshallah.
MashaAllah. Dr. Sultan, real quick, what's going on in St. Louis? How is everybody okay there, or is there any problems? Anything?
You know, this was after 3 months. This was the first Jummah prayer at our main mosque. I went over there. It was very professional, 6 feet apart, checking the temperature, sanitizing hands, and everyone. There was khutbah, and immediately after khutbah, namaz, and after namaz, they said just disperse, so that the second row of Jummah prayer will start. So it went very, very beautifully. Everyone obeyed. Everyone followed the instructions, and it was such a smooth transition that I really saw the discipline. And I really enjoyed that.
Okay, now you mentioned a second Jummah. You had 2 different sermons there, Jummah.
Yes.
Jummah khutbahs.
That's right. In the good days, it used to be packed on the first Jummah, and the second Jummah was reasonably also big. But now it is only 75 men and 25 women are allowed, because women's area is small, men's area is bigger. And
25 men and 5 women?
No, 75 men and 25 women. So total of 100.
Got to get my ears cleaned out. 75, you said 75 and 25. That's 100 total, right?
100 total, right.
Wow.
So, yeah. Wow. So it is far, far less. I mean, we usually have about 400 or 500 people on Jummah prayer, and this was much less, but it went perfectly fine. Everyone was disciplined. Everyone followed the rules. They checked my temperature. You know what? My temperature was high. You know why? Because it's such a hot day, and I had to stand in line in the sun to be. Waiting in line, so by the time I reached, my temperature was higher. But I mean, they knew that it's just because you've been out in the heat. Because they take
being that you're a medical doctor, do you know how to make that temperature go up or down on that thing, like fudge it a little bit, cheat a little bit? No.
No. You know, Allah Ta'ala's system is so fantastic. You see, because Allah Ta'ala has made us hot-blooded animal as compared with the cold-blooded animal. You take a frog, if the temperature is 0, it'll get to close to 0. The temperature is 100, it'll get close to 100.
Wait a minute, hold up. Is 98.6 still the average temperature of the human being?
Right, exactly.
I mean, with inflation and everything, I didn't know if it went up.
Well, no, I mean, up to 100, up to 99, we don't consider fever, okay?
Yeah, but I mean, just across the board, the average is still exactly the same, right?
Exactly the same, right.
So this is not something we could blame, on the Republicans or Democrats for making the temperatures go.
No, but you can blame on sun, because you're taking the skin temperature. You're not taking the internal body temperature with a thermometer in the mouth. So the skin externally can get hot. So it may be a little bit above 98. I didn't dare to ask him what the temperature was. It's a little bit high. I said, okay. I'll let you go. It's my friend. I'll let you go. I said, okay.
Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, this sounds like Reshwa. Wait, you have a friend in there, and they sound like bribery, man. Oh, whoa.
We are all brothers and friends in Islam. We all brothers.
But you know what? No exceptions. We had this situation similarly today and in the masjid. And Florida, unfortunately, is starting to be the epicenter right now. Have like 4,000 cases, and now it's mandatory to wear masks, and so there was no exception. You wear the mask. You're not going to be allowed in the mask if you don't have it. We provided. You bring your prayer rug. You wash with the hand sanitizer. And for those who don't bring it, they can wear outside. And if people don't like it, then just they're basically going to harm somebody by exposing. So there should be absolutely strict rules for the safety and security of everyone, especially nowadays. So this would make clear to everybody got to go through the process without any exceptions. And alhamdulillah, it went very well, and that's the way it should be nowadays. Yep. COVID is transforming Muslims to be more compliant, more disciplined, and more up to the snuff, if you would.
Okay.
That was something very interesting.
Yes.
Before the Jummah prayer, for the last few days, they've been running a promo. In that promo, they're telling everybody to wear the mask. So here it comes. Imam comes in, wants to get inside without the mask. They say, sorry, you can't get in. So let him go back home. Well, it's just a promo. Just say that even
we provide free masks for everybody who didn't bring in one, but we tell them, you bring it with you next time. You bring the prayer rug, so everybody knows the routine by now. There's no, like everybody knows they pray in the marked space with 6 feet apart, all throughout the masjid, and for the overflow, we would pray outside, in the sun, in the heat. So, but alhamdulillah, it kills coronavirus. So. We got to transform, into more compliant and more.
Okay, both of you. Okay, but both of you are medical doctors, so I'm going to ask you from the medical profession: is this the best that we can do, or are there some things that we could do to more enhance the safety and security of those who are the attendees? Please, and we'll start with, if you don't mind, I'll start with Dr. Sultan, please, inshallah.
I think that is the best we can do. 6 feet apart, and masks, and our own prayer rugs, and pray, and immediately leave. Okay. And then when people are about to leave, they ask them in a row to this row, leave, so that there was no congestion in the entrance area.
Okay. Dr. Ado, same question.
Sure. Yeah, the same question, correct?
Yes.
Okay, a few added things. Number one, the minute that they do it, there are old ways that everybody congregates around the shoes area to put their shoes on. So you have, 50, 60 people within, very close proximity. So you let people go at a time, you take your shoes and go. You don't wait to put the shoes on in the same area. You just keep going, and then there's no congregation after the salah. Everybody goes to their car because they have to make space for the next Friday prayer service, and everybody gonna keep the mask on till they get into their car, and everybody has to have hand sanitizer on the way in and on the way out. So this is the protocol that has been followed. That kind of restricted. I volunteered as a kind of security / for people, and no exceptions. And we teach the young, generation, and so far they've been, very compliant.
All right. So now I'm going to take the other position. Okay. Are we overdoing it a little bit? Maybe there's some things that we could eliminate, maybe not worry about so much. What about that? And again, Dr. Sultan, if you will.
Yeah, one more thing. They asked to do wudu from home, so that, again, there's no exposure of people in a small bathroom area.
Ooh, Wow, I didn't. You know, those. You're talking about the shoe room. You're talking about the wudu area. I never even considered that. I was just thinking about just walk in, plop down, do your thing, pray, and then leave. But no, it wouldn't be, because the very narrow hallways to go down and then go through the doors to get. Oh my God, I didn't even think about any of this. I really didn't. Whoa. Am I paranoid? Am I too paranoid about this or what? I didn't go to the masjid today. I didn't even think about it today. I just prayed 4 rakahs for dhuhr and just read. Well, this morning after Fajr we read the Surah Al-Kahf, the cave.
Al-Kahf.
Yeah. Well, am I paranoid?
No, you're not paranoid. These are the medical recommendations, make common sense. And I don't think that any of the recommendations made does not make a sense. As a matter of I'll call you more liberal, because you didn't think about the bathrooms, you see. So I can't call you paranoid.
All right. Well, okay. Now, Dr. Adel.
I think, everybody's been already informed about breaking wudu at home, but there are people who still come and they need to go to the bathroom. So we try not to get a lot of people congregated in a short period of time, in a very short space. So, and the minute they go out of the wudu area, they put the mask on and the sanitizers, and then, go to the prayer area. I think this stuff will be around for a long time. And people have to be really trained, if you would. This is the new routine now, and no handshakes and no hugs and no kisses and no, close proximity. This is another thing. You could do the elbow shake, with the folks, if they really, are used and so on. A lot of people have texted me, please, I want to come, and also support, elder sister, respected brothers and sisters. But, I try to explain the situation now with the almost epicenter happening right now in Florida and mandates and so on. It's for everybody's safety just to pray at home till we get things under control.
All right. Okay. Well, that.
And one more thing.
Yes.
Also recommended that people over age 65 pray at home. So if you're under 65, next Friday you can go to the mosque. If you're over 65, then think about it.
Okay, but now, when you come into Islam, you get to zero out the speedometer. I was told that when I came to Islam, that you will no longer, because you just became like you came from your mother, innocent and pure. And so that happened 29 years ago in July. So this July, I'll be 29 years old. I'm good to go, right?
Yeah.
I want to just to make a good rather than a blanket recommendation 65. There were senior brothers more than 65 for sure, but they are healthy. They don't have chronic diseases. They didn't have fever. They didn't have any symptoms, and they're very 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 anxious about coming to Masjid for Jummah. This is a big deal. They've been doing it all their life and so on. So there was few, but they came, and alhamdulillah, they were very compliant, and they kept the social distancing, the mask and so on, and the sanitizer. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that it's not like a death sentence. You guys are not allowed, after 65. But if someone is healthy and no symptoms and no chronic disease, like COPD, emphysema, or heart disease.
Would that be any age? Maybe even if somebody's 80?
I'm glad. Anthony Fauci said, I'm a healthy 80-year-old, and you see all that stuff. So it's just, I think, have to do with the status, and they could individualize cases. I don't want to give a blanket kind of a recommendation because there's a lot of people who are, in good health. And they would love to be in Jummah, and you take it in an individualized basis.
Okay. Well, yeah, that makes me feel better. I think that for my age, I'm probably as healthy or healthier than the average who's at my particular age. Considering I was almost 50 when I came to Islam. Then I get to zero back out, and since then it's been almost 30 years. So you can do the math for yourself. You don't need a calculator, right?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
On an average, an 80 years old man is on about 10, 15 different prescription medications.
What?
Polypharmacy. It's called polypharmacy. He's right.
No, seriously. Seriously, is that really serious?
I'm serious, you see.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah, you got a medication for blood pressure, maybe 2-3 medications.
No, you're not from Syria. You're not from Syria. You're from Pakistan. I think.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, Dr. Adel, do you agree with that? Is somebody 80 years old, and I'm not 80 yet. I got a couple years to get there, but whatever. And by the way, I don't like to talk about age too much because maybe I want to keep my options open. You know what I'm saying?
Only a number. It's a state. It's only a number. You're in Florida. If you're a young man, unless you get 100, that's where
I used to live in Fort Lauderdale, in Fort Myers on the other side. Yeah, on the west side. Yeah, and when I was there, of course, that was in 1989. So yeah. I was the youngest guy in the whole mall.
Average age is 80s to 90s,
I know. We used to refer to, we didn't call anybody old. We just want to know what color their hair. If it's blue hair, okay, those are the older guys, the blue hairs.
Yeah, I told it's only a number, the state of mind and the functionality. And but of course, there's tons of seniors, in Florida, rightfully so. So I believe that people now are really adjusting. There is a polypharmacy, like Dr. Sultan said, and like 50 to 70% of the medications are unnecessary. They may do more harm than good. They contradict each other. They react with each other in adverse ways. And it may cause people confusion, false, especially in the elderly. Could be dependence, like if somebody started an opioid, believe it or not, for pain, unnecessarily and wrongfully, and they're just to become, confused and or disoriented, and you could. Complicated by maybe baseline mild Alzheimer, and subhanAllah, this is really, really, really a big issue that we have to fix this polypharmacy and just only give the one that's absolutely needed with the amounts that's absolutely required, not to overdose, not underdose, and then not to give anything unless it's indicated with minimal, with the maximum benefit and minimal risk. Yeah, do no harm, basically. That's because there's nobody can keep up with where's your medication, where do you put it? Somebody has to put in this medication, in this compartments, and to take it for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and unless somebody's doing it, people get confused. They don't know what it is. They may overdose, and we see this a lot with the blood thinners and other. Medication that caused the toxicity to the heart and the rhythm problem and unnecessary admissions, and the whole thing is preventable. I mean, I'm talking about billions and billions and billions of dollars that has actually spent to get the medication that I don't indicate, and then to be spent again on handling with the side effects from the medication that wasn't even necessary or harmful in the first
place. That's how I call engineering to make cash cows. Engineering to make cash cows.
Yeah,
treat symptoms, don't treat the cause.
I heard you talk about cash cows before, but I don't know what's medical got to do with the dairy business.
It's just an expression.
Come on, seriously, man. I don't get that.
you're gonna get the calls going. I'm just gonna pause for namaz. I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't do namaz. You're from Egypt. You have to do salat.
Salat. For those who are out there, in namaz in Urdu, since the Dr. Sultan from Pakistan, since Brother Yusuf is a cosmopolitan, he's got every single aspect in the world combined together. So salah or prayer, we have 5 daily prayers. So I'm just gonna in local time. So I will just pray and then I'll come back.
All right. We allow that, by the way. Anybody that needs to do salah, we do allow that. Okay.
Exactly.
Even 5 times a day, we allow that. Hey, we're very lenient,
Yeah.
MashaAllah. Hey, look, I'm going to put him on there. Look, see, he left. He really left. Oh, my goodness. All right, but we have Dr. Sultan is still with us. MashaAllah. 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 Doctor, I have a couple of questions. First of all, as soon as he gets back, I want to put the phone number up for everybody to start calling in. And I'm waiting until we've got about 1 minute left. And so I just give you a yes or no question. But are you anticipating or excited about us doing this, the live call-in tonight? How do you feel about it?
Certainly, I'm excited about it.
All right. So what do you anticipate is going to happen? Good calls or crank calls, or what do you think?
Hopefully, people call in seriously and ask us good questions, and we'll do our best to answer to best of our capability.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to take this real short break. This is a little short break here, guys. And I would like for all of us, to just think for a minute or two about the Quran and how important it is to our children. Because we have a contest it's very well publicized all over the internet every time we do it. But the point behind it is this. We really want these kiddos to respect the Quran, recite the Quran, learn the Quran, and then act according to the meaning of the Quran. So this is why we're doing it. So stay tuned, stay guided with Guidance TV. We'll be right back right after. Hey kids, you can recite the Quran on TV. That's right, beginning right now. Record your favorite surah or ayah of Quran in Arabic. Upload your videos, as many as you like. Tell your relatives and friends to rate your video on reciteontv.com. Do it now! Hey kids.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah? One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out.
Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness that Muhammad.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
And we're back. Now, the two little promos that you saw just now were emphasizing the importance of the Quran, the recitation of the Quran. The second one had a little excerpt of reciteontv.com. It was a little short thing. Probably you didn't even catch it because we had a lot of little outtakes, bang, 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 boom, boom, of different programs that we have. There are a lot more programs that we have now. That particular one was just reworked by me in my poor editing just the other day. So I wanted to emphasize to all of us the importance, though, really, of having our contest so that we will encourage these kiddos to be interested in the Quran for more than just winning $1,000. I really don't want to turn it into a money-making scheme on any level. However, now, saying that, this is why I have to couple it with the other one, because in order to do this, to give away $1,000, and then the second prize this year is $100 to 10 young children, because I really know that their families need money right now, so we added it that way. Usually we have like a $500, then a $100 or a $200 or something like that, and graduate it down. But we said that this time we want to give 10, or actually 11 winners that'll win cash. Then the prizes that we have, every single child will get something, and no prize is going to be like a ballpoint pen or something like that. We're going to have decent prizes for the children. We've got some different things I don't want to tell you on TV right now, but when we give them out, we will be talking about those. So every child who signs up for this thing, we really want them to be excited about coming to the classes that we have online. They'll be excited to get with their own teachers via Zoom or via the system that we're using here on Guidance TV. But the main thing that I want to emphasize again, I want to really enforce this really, is that we must have our children understand the value of memorizing the Quran and understanding the Arabic that goes with it. Without that, it's not the same. If you know the meaning but you don't have the Quran memorized in Arabic, it's not the same. And if you have it memorized but you don't know the meaning, it's not the same. And if you understand the Quran from the Arabic and you memorize it, then the only thing left is to put it into practice. And so there are three things, okay? That's the memorization, which is what we're emphasizing again and again. However, during the contest, we don't have any stipulations that they can't have the Quran right there in front of them. We wouldn't be able to see it anyway, would we? No, we wouldn't. So they would have it there if they need it and recite it. The main thing that I want to concern myself about is, do they understand the meaning of what they're reciting? And every year that we do this, that we do the same thing. We ask them, do you know what it means? Do you know what it means? And then we politely tell them. I'm not trying to test them on TV. Not at all. But I want them to have a reason to want to continue after they hang up the phone or after they've recorded it, after the program is over. I would like for them to have a desire to continue. Dr. Sultan is with us right now, and I'd like to bring him in on this. Dr. Sultan, what is your feeling? What's your take on what we're doing with that?
Well, education of Quran is the first and utmost duty of a Muslim, parents to learn themselves, and then also give opportunity and chance and teach their children to be able to recite properly in the most beautiful way, and also understand, because Allah Ta'ala likes beautiful voices, and whenever you recite, Allah Ta'ala always is listening when you're reciting, and there's nothing is more appeasing to Allah Ta'ala's ears other than the voice of Quran and the recitation of Quran. So that is very, very important, and essential part. As a matter of fact, if you can't recite, you cannot even say your prayers or your salah, because Quran is an integral part of the whole salah.
That's very true. Very, very true. Okay, so the value of knowing the meaning, but then what about pronunciation? How important is that, do you think?
That's where the recitation comes in beautiful voice, in beautiful way with tajweed, so that, Quran, if not read with tajweed, it just doesn't sound exciting as compared when you really have a good voice and you recite according to exact word pronunciation and combination pronunciation and raising and downing of various sounds to produce a really pleasant voice. That's why people love to listen to the reciters, especially the ones which are beautiful reciters. It is so heartening, it is so enjoyable, it's so pleasant to the ears. I cannot explain that how good you feel when somebody is reciting beautifully. And these days is Allah's blessing that now on our iPhone we can have 10, 12, 15, 20 different qaris with the most beautiful voice. So it is on our demand. It's on demand in our hands. Whenever we want to call any of those reciters, they are in your hand, in your command, and it is very heartening that Allah Ta'ala has brought Quran so close to your heart and your ears.
Yes, I'm thinking that maybe we should put up the phone number now, and then by the time he gets back, it'll still be there. So let's try that and see what we get. I'd like to put that up right now. Guys, if you'd like to call in, you can do so right now. And I have, where's the phone? Ah, here it is. Okay. So I have the phone here. You can call 1-800-971-4383. You can call in right now, and we can make it so that you will be on the air with us. And doctor, let me see if that, yeah, it's there on your side too. So we'll continue our conversation about the Quran and then wait for any calls. By the way, guys, you can call in right now and ask about something else. You don't have to ask about the Quran or the contest or how to support Guidance TV. No, you can call in and ask any question or make any comment that you like. We want to open this up for you to call in right now. Now, keep this in mind. I want you to look right over here. Now, if it says recorded right there, it doesn't say live, then you're not going to be able to get through to us because we're not live on the air. This is a special 800 number that only is supposed to be ringing when we're live on the air, okay? So if it's not live, if we're not live, then it's not going to work. But anyway, so right now though, on Friday nights and Saturday nights, we are going to be live for 2 hours. That's 4 hours every week that we're going to be alive and taking your calls and answering questions. If you have something that's been bothering you about Islam or what Islam teaches, etc., etc., then you're welcome to call in right now and ask your question. Doesn't mean we're going to know the answer. You got that, right? It doesn't mean we know the answers to everything. But if we don't know, we'll tell you right away, Allahu Alam, Allah is the all-knower, and we'll try to help you find the right person to give you the right answer. That's what our commitment is. That we do have close to 4,000. It's slightly less than that now because I deleted some, but close to 4,000 websites for Islam. So I'm sure that we probably, in most questions, we've got a scholar who has answered those questions over the years. And if you got something about the virus, the coronavirus, the COVID-19, we have real doctors. There are medical doctors who are right here, including Dr. Sultan, Dr. Adil, Dr. Shoaib, and so many more that are ready to answer your questions and help us know what the real answers are from the medical profession. Not a political viewpoint, but strictly from medicine. Okay, so that's all of that. Okay, Dr. Sultan, back to you. I'd just like to throw the first question out about this virus again. I know I ask you guys so many questions, but this came up today. My wife needed some medicine, and she had to go to pick it up at the doctor's because the insurance wouldn't cover it. And we got another way to cover it, but they would only send it over to the doctor. They wouldn't send it to our house. So we had to go over there to pick it up. And when I got there, none of us wanted to go inside because, you know, even though I had the mask on and everything, I was scared because I have to go into this building and get in an elevator. And I was thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? That was just before we came live, by the way. So, alhamdulillah for this, that actually there was nobody in the hall. There was nobody at the doors. There was nobody in the elevator with me. The door opened up right into the doctor's office. It's a big, like, clinic thing there. And there was nobody in there except the lady at the desk, and she was a good 20 feet away, not 6 feet, 20 feet, and she was going like this for me to stop right there at the elevator. She said, "What do you need?" And I told her who it was for, and she said, "Oh, yeah, I know that." She went over to the refrigerator, brought it out, put it on a table so that I could go take that and then get back in the elevator, go straight down. Nobody got in with me. I didn't see anybody but her. And then I went out back to the car, and I felt pretty safe about that. Now, was that safe enough, or should I still, when I got in the car, I pulled out the wipes and wiped my hands from touching the elevator buttons and all that. So was that too much, or was that good?
That was good, and that's the best that can be done. I thought maybe she will throw like a ball at your hand, you catch, or hand it over with a mechanical hand, you know.
No, actually, this was in a box about so big, about 8-10 inches wide and about 4 inches thick, because it had some stuff for her diabetes, and it had to be refrigerated. So she had to go to the refrigerator, get it out, and then put it down. But if she'd have thrown that at me, I'd have felt like she was mad.
Just kidding. You know, we can go to extremes on anything. And
was that's what I need to know. Was that extreme, or was there a valid point on each thing that I mentioned?
It was valid point. It was handled very professionally. Couldn't have been done better than that.
Well, the best thing is that I like it when they deliver it, and that guy is wearing a mask and gloves, and he rings our doorbell, and then he steps back off the porch and sets it down, then he leaves, and then we go out there with the spray, what's it called, we spray it all and let it sit in the sunlight for about 2 minutes before we even pick that up, and we use rubber gloves and mask, everything like that. But is that too much?
Well, it's on both sides of the aisle. Now they're talking about that you really don't get it that much from surfaces as, you know, from direct person-to-person contact. And therefore, if you did it or you didn't do it, it's okay. I'm a physician. Initially, we did, when we got from the grocery store, we washed everything, cleaned everything before we put in the refrigerator. But when the news came that it is not that much spread from surfaces, so we just use a common sense approach. I I go and get the groceries. Sometimes my son goes and get the groceries, but we
But
do not go to.
Do you still have to wear the mask when you go to the grocery store?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And then there is social distancing, so you have to stay in line until the cashier is available, and then you go over there. In one place that was very interesting, what they did was, I pulled the cart. They said, just leave the cart right in here. You stand back. We'll take the cart to the near the cash register. They checked everything out, made the register, and put in the cart everything themselves, and then said, now you step forward and pay by. No, then many places they are not taking cash. Many places they say, put your credit card in, and here's the receipt. Just go on your way. So even they don't.
Wait! You said no cash?
Yeah, some places no cash. Again, it's a part of the same thing.
Oh man!
You'll be spreading virus.
Oh man! This is getting closer and closer to. I remember prophecies when I was a Christian. I remember them talking about a day would come when people would have something inserted or have in their hand. And now that people want to, I saw an actual video of a journalist, and they put a what do you call a chip in his hand, and he took it out the same day. He had to take it back out, but they put a chip in, and they said, now we can tell you about your temperature and all your stuff like that. And so we're talking about putting chips in the hands, and also no cash. That, I don't know.
This in my mind, another picture went. We trust in American dollar. Now the interesting thing is merchants not trusting the American dollar. Yes, in the United States. But I know that there's a different reason. The dollar is still as strong as it was before. Dollar still has as much value as before. We just too much scared of carrying infection with it. But that was something interesting.
Well, now you also mentioned something about surfaces. So if somebody touches something with their fingers are dry, then that surface is not going to get contaminated, or?
Well, it will. It can get contaminated. Depends on where your hands have been before you touch.
No,
things,
but I mean, suppose a person has dry fingertips and he touches something. Then I come along and I have dry fingertips, like an elevator button, for instance. What?
Well, again, these public places where hundreds of thousands of people will be touching, yes, there you should have precaution. But what I was talking about in a grocery store, for example, if I'm going to buy some apples, I touch the apples, doesn't look good. I touch another one until I find a good one. How much transfer is likely to take place? Very, very little. But if, on the other hand, public places like buses, like airplanes, like elevators, where people are pushing buttons all day long, that gives a little different meaning than what you have to see in context to what you are doing. Otherwise, life becomes extremely miserable. Again, everything you have to take chances. You see, in life, there's nothing. American roads, beautifully made, one of the best roads, but they are not perfect. There's an accident happen every day, and people die every day. So you have to take some risk all along, and not get so much paranoid.
Well,
use common sense.
Well, okay. Well, in some cases, common sense is not a commodity that a lot of people have. But yeah, I get that.
Yeah, see, common sense is not that common.
Oh. Yeah, I'll accept that one. Okay, so what do I understand from what you just said? Do I understand now that if somebody comes to my door and they say that, for instance, here's the groceries. We do get our groceries delivered, and so when that person shows up at the door, do I need him to be wearing a mask and gloves and everything? And okay, we got a caller here. Let's take the call, and then we'll come back to the question that I had. This is Hackensack, New Jersey, and we're going to see, okay. Salaam alaikum. Hello.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum assalam, rahmatullahi barakatuh. How you doing, brother?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, we're fine here, but how are you doing? That's what we want to know.
I'm great. Yeah, I'm just calling from New Jersey, Sheikh. I met you in New Jersey, in Teaneck, New Jersey. I just donated to the Children's Recitation Fund, and I'm just happy to say salam and wish you well.
Wonderful, thank you. By the way, if you're watching this right now, what you're seeing on the screen will be about 30 seconds ago. So yeah, but I'm so glad that you called in. And you're in New Jersey now? Is that Hackensack?
One town over in Teaneck.
Teaneck. All right. The phone told me that you're in Hackensack. All right.
Right. Yeah, that's probably how they identified it.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. Do you have any questions for Dr. Sultan right now? We have him on the line with us.
Yes, I do. Dr. Sultan, assalamu alaikum. My question relates to, it's partly Islamic, it's partly health, so I think it's coming from both directions. One of the observations that I'm making is that I see a lot of instances of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure in a lot of Muslims, particularly first, second generation who have come to America from other countries, India, Pakistan, Middle East. I wanted to get your feedback on how our cultural diet is, because I'm from India and I know I'm 49 now, that unfortunately many times the food that we eat, we're new immigrants, we're struggling, we buy the most straightforward, least expensive food because we're trying to survive. I think we eat a lot of carbohydrates, we eat a lot of rice, and I don't know how we could. I know one of the hadith says that people should eat half a stomach or something like that. So I was wondering, how can we make ourselves healthier? Because I think if you look at it medically and look at the entire Ummah, I don't see ourselves as doing martial arts, running in the desert. I mean, I can imagine what the Sahaba must have done. I just don't see us doing that. So I just wanted to get your feedback on how can we ourselves become spiritually and as well as medically and physically healthier. Thank you, doctor. I appreciate your feedback.
All right. I just now realized he got up to go do his namaz, his salat. So as soon as he gets back, I'm going to pass this to him. You said that you were talking about Pakistan, right?
India, Pakistan.
Yeah, but
our diets are terrible, in my opinion. I think we are kind of killing ourselves slowly. I don't know whether it's shaitan, but we love to eat the 2 plates of biryani and the sweet and the dessert and everything else. I just see ourselves in the community. A lot of people are not healthy, and I hope, inshallah, Allah will help us become more physically fit and also healthy as well, spiritually and medically. So
all right.
If you could address that with the doctor, I'd appreciate it.
I will do my best. Now, you're watching us, so when he gets back and we ask him, I don't know which one of the doctors will be back first, but Dr. Sultan, he is from Pakistan, and Dr. Adil is from Egypt. So I guess both of them would be spiritually and health-wise very interested in this question. That's a good question.
Oh, thank you so much.
And
either one is good or both. I would love to hear an answer. And Sheikh, what you're doing, may Allah bless you. We love you so much you don't know.
Thank you so much. When I hear people talk about the work that we're doing, I always feel like, oh, you don't know, because I'm not doing enough. I want to do more. I want to do more. I kick myself every day I'm at home and I got all this time and I just want to take advantage of it better, you know. But thank you for the dua, and I've got to answer another phone call. It's just coming in right now. So.
Wonderful. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Thank you so much.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi barakatuh. Oh, I lost the call. It dropped. Okay, so whoever was just calling us, I saw it on here. Yeah, you can call me back right now. I'll take your call as quick as I can. Let me see if I can open this up again and see who it was. Who was it? 810 area code 813. I'm not going to say the rest of your phone number. Yeah, please give us a call back. I'm so sorry I couldn't catch it, but I don't like to hang up on somebody else, you know. So here we go. Assalamu alaikum.
Don, you have a caller.
Oh, yes. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Okay, guys, just listen to the phone. Put the phone up and listen to it. Don't dial it like that and then watch the TV to see if I answer, because that's going to be at least 30 to 60 seconds later. And by then you've already hung up, or I've already gone on to something else, and your phone quits and you're like, what happened? So please listen to the phone and call us, and as much as you want, and we'll talk to you. But if you listen to the phone, you'll realize that it takes us a little bit of time to connect over to you, and a little bit more time to watch the results. All right, so we have a question waiting for the doctors when they get back. And here is Dr. Ado, and let me put him up here so you can see him. There we go. Assalamu alaikum, doctor.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, while you were away, what we did, we went ahead and put the phone number up on the screen, 1-800-971-4383, and we asked people to call in. Then just as we got a phone call, it turns out that Dr. Sultan had just moved away to do his salat, his prayers. So I took the call, and I hope I did it justice. Our brother who called us, he's in New Jersey, and he was saying that he's from India or Pakistan, somewhere like that, but he was saying that we come over here and we get used to a different kind of a diet. And he was talking about the companions of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that they probably didn't eat as much as we do and then sit around. They were probably eating a lot less and working a lot more. And I have to agree with that, no matter where we are on the planet today. But anyway, he was worried about carbs, and somebody that's almost 50 years old, and he asked us about how could we do better spiritually and for health-wise. And he was complaining really that our diets are, he said we eat too many helpings of biryani or too many helpings of different things, and the carbs are too high, etc. So what advice would you give him on about this?
Beautiful. That's a very good question. There's an obesity epidemic, the diabetes epidemic, sleep apnea epidemic, hypertensive epidemic. All these are related to increased carbs and overweight, and all related to the excess, more than what the body needs to intake. The answer to that is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Sumu tasihhu." You know, intermittent fasting now is the hottest thing in wellness, and we have it already built in our faith. You could, obviously we finished Ramadan in the 6 days after that, but you could have Monday, Thursday of every week. You could have that in addition to the 3 in middle of the month lunar days, and then limit the carbs. And you could have increase the salads and fresh fruits and vegetables. And and I tell everybody, chicken or fish for the most part, limit the red meat intake, and especially the fat intake, and also do not use any processed food, or because a lot of these things have a lot of carcinogens or cancer-producing substances, and increase physical activity. I think if you do that, and then obviously when you cook with olive oil, no other thing, and there's no any fried food anymore. I tell this to everybody. If we do this on a regular basis, I think that will transform our numbers, in terms of decreasing the pounds of the weight, decreasing the sugar levels, decreasing blood pressure level, especially with also excessive salt, and will help decrease the obesity-related diseases like degenerative arthritis, sleep apnea, obstructive sleep apnea, and it would reverse a lot of these things in addition to heart disease, obviously, and cancer risk. So if we do that combined, it will give you all the benefit and will boost your immune system to fight coronavirus and other pathogens as well.
Wow. Okay, well, we got the phone number jumped up in size. I don't know what happened just now, but the phone number, I'm looking at this. This is huge. I don't know what just happened. It's on you and me both. I don't know what's going on with that.
No problem. Go ahead. I'm trained in New York, so I can handle it. No problem. I got the New York t-shirt today.
Well, that's true. You do have that New York t-shirt, so that's a good thing. I need to figure out how to get rid of, let me just delete it. I think, there we go. Now. Okay, now. I'm still not an expert on this thing. I really need to know a lot more about all this. Let me see if I can get, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's weird looking, but it's acceptable to me. So anyway, Doctor, what would you say about the spirituality of the thing, though? I think that he really wanted to know about the effects that spirituality would have on the diet. The diet has on the spirituality. For instance, the Prophet ﷺ, he told us about the amounts of food and the what to leave empty, and he told us also when to eat and when not to eat, and things like this.
The rule of third, one third for the food.
Hold on 1 second. I want to get you back up. All right, go ahead and answer that.
So there's a rule of 1/3 for the food, 1/3 for the water. This is how the stomach, if you divide it into, 3, portions, 1 for the food, 1 for the water, and you leave the upper third for breathing. Because sometimes if you overfill the stomach, people sometimes have indigestion, reflux. They have burping, all that stuff from just too much food stuff. Chew the food slowly. Drink the water when sitting down, not standing up, because if it stands up, this is sunnah. It goes right through the body rather than actually into the body. And then more importantly, Rasulullah said, what you need is luqaymat. Only few small hands of bites that you can need that keep your strength for the day, but you really don't need any extra of that. And between this and intermittent fasting, that actually lead to spiritual reboost and sense of calmness and purity and peace, inner peace. And it will, believe it or not, it gives a surge of energy with less food. And then of course, like I mentioned, the type of food, the energy food, with the fresh fruits and vegetables, and stay away from carbs and sugars and complex carbohydrates. All these will definitely boost the immune system as well. So it's all together, the food, the way of life, and then when you spend less time being consumed by food and eating and preparing and all that, then you may end up having extra time to fill with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with dhikrillah, with the remembrance of Allah, reading the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, pondering on life and meditating and so on. So that will give you a spiritual boost. So there is definite balance that have to strike between your physical body needs, with food and energy, because you got to put gas in the car, but also the spiritual needs that you need, and it could be boosted when you limit the bodily indulgence, if you would, in extra food and drink and so on.
Okay, well, I see that Dr. Sultan is back. So,
yes.
Yeah, I want to go ahead. Yeah, Dr. Sultan, if we could get you to, first of all, I need you to listen to somebody called in and asked for you, and he was asking the question, and I will give it to you right now.
Okay.
He was saying he was 49 years old. He lives in New Jersey now, but he's from India, Pakistan area, the Desi community, if you know what I'm saying. And
right.
Yeah, he said that he is concerned about our health, our diets in particular, and he was saying that the companions that he couldn't imagine, the companions of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, would be in the shape that we are. And the increase of diabetes, I think, is one of the things that concerns all of us. And then he goes on to ask about carbs. And he thinks that we're probably eating too much and exercising too little. And he was asking about if you could give him some kind of idea of how the diet could be improved to increase his health and spirituality. If I remembered everything.
So yes, this is a very favorite subject of mine. I talk to patients all the time. So I will start with a very simple concept that mentally you can attune to and realize or decide what is good for you in the form of foods and what is not good for you in the form of foods. So the first principle I teach you or the caller is eat what will rot and do it before it does. Means fresh meats, fruits, vegetables, grains, greens, beans. This should be the part of our diet. When I was growing, this is the way my mother cooked. We went to the farmer, got the fresh vegetables, went to the butcher shop, got the fresh meat with all the herbs and spices. We put it, and the food was delicious. So, but when we came to United States, something very interesting I would like to share with you. One of my friends, when he learned from me how to eat healthy, he said, he was from Pakistan too. He said, when I came to United States, I said, how lucky these people are. Look at that, what they drink. They drink sodas and things like that. And back home, we used to drink just like plain water. Look at that, how blessed the Americans are. And when he later on realized, which as I'm going to the subject, so you'll realize that who was right and who was wrong. So keeping this in mind, eat what will rot and do what does. Think in terms of not hamburgers, fries, and pies. Think how the food comes in. Food comes in the following categories. Number one, meats. So you can have meats of all kinds, except luncheon meats, hamburgers, and hot dogs and stuff like that.
Whoa. Time out. Whoa. You said hamburgers. Oh, we got to come back with this. So we got to take a short break and we'll be back with this. Oh, no. Hey, everybody stay tuned. Stay guided. We got this to be evil. We'll be right back right after this.
Here are some ways to get Goddess TV. Via satellite on Galaxy 19 FTA. At this satellite frequency, transponder rate 5, frequency 11836 MHz, polarity vertical, symbol rate 20770, FEC 3/4, channel ID, Guide US TV. You can also download the app to your smartphone. Available for iPhones from the App Store, for Android on Google Play. And now Guide Us TV is available on Roku. Get guided with Guide Us TV. Here are some ways to get Guide Us TV. Via satellite on Galaxy 19 FTA. At this satellite frequency, transponder rate 5, frequency 11836 MHz, polarity vertical, symbol rate 20770, FEC 3/4, channel ID, Guide US TV. You can also download the app to your smartphone. Available for iPhones from the App Store, for Android on Google Play. And now Guide Us TV is available on Roku. Get guided with Guide Us TV. Here are some ways to get Guide Us TV. Via satellite on Galaxy 19 FTA. At this satellite frequency.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out. Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness. That Muhammad.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
And we are back. You're watching us coming to you almost live all the way from SC. That's right, Southern California. We're in Cali. The people out here call it Cali. I don't know why. Anyway, we have some special guests with us tonight, and we're on a, what do they call it when you're on for a real long time? What do they call that?
A mission? Let's. On a mission. We are on a mission tonight.
A mission.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on a mission. Here is Dr. Sultan. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
I want to encourage everybody right now to make dua for both of our guests tonight, because they're putting up with me for an extended hour. And here is also, let's put on Dr. Adil. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How you like being on for 2 hours on the weekend?
Alhamdulillah, it's working out because we're alternating with Dr. Sultan for the prayer time. So on a Friday, so hopefully Allah would accept that effort to really uplift everybody and rally everyone, and hopefully help to alleviate part of this anxiety and give some good news and some guidance on health issues and really help people navigate through these tough times.
Well, while you were gone for your prayer, Dr. Sultan also took a break there, and I got a phone call, and as you know, and we talked about this, and I'm listening to you guys, and I'm getting something now that I'm very concerned about, because I'm so busy. I really am busy from daylight to dawn. I'm working harder now than when I was on the road, really, because because handling phone calls from around the world and being busy with our websites, and we don't have as many employees now, almost zero. But and so I'm really trying to handle all these things. along the way, I'm not complaining. By the way, I'm happy to be busy. What I'm saying is I'm out of touch with the reality of other people around me, because whenever I go out or when I talk to somebody on the phone, I only went out 3 times now since this started in February, and today one of them, and I'm noticing that people are like jumpy or jittery, and so, and you're talking about something about anxiety. Is that a problem right now, Dr. Adil?
Actually, it's becoming worse than the coronavirus, the fear of coronavirus and the anxiety related to coronavirus.
Worse? How can it?
Well, some people just have these symptoms of chest pain, shortness of breath, trembling, and have those shakes in their bodies, and irritability and fast heartbeats and palpitations, and they hyperventilate, so they pass out. All typical textbook symptoms of an anxiety and irritability that you just whether watching the news or seeing people or hearing about. So a part of hopefully the message here is reverse this culture of an anxiety promoting into calmness and peace promoting. And we're the people of faith know that you trust God, and for everything that happen around us, you take your precautions. And if Allah is testing us, that is not meant to punish us. That's meant to forgive, basically to forgive our sins, purify us, and to till the last sin is being erased. So when you're ready to meet your Creator, you go sin-free. And that's really the ultimate goal here. It could be a purification process, could be a great opportunity to get closer to Allah, to get all the distractions out from our lives and really focus on what is the main purpose. We're here to Allah will take care of the rizq, Allah will take care of the sustenance, Allah will take care of them. There is no a moving creature on earth that Allah had grant their sustenance, whether it's a human or animal or a bird, that's moving around and on the planet Earth, and obviously beyond. Allah knows that Allah did, brought to life and of course guaranteed their sustenance and the rizq. So we worry about what? About what we can do, and that should be the concern. What can we do a positive thing for tomorrow? Not to get into this peanut gallery discussions about, what should we do and all that. I think we discussed before about the important the self-defense mechanisms, about enhancing immune system and the water, nutrition, and all the clean things that we should do, improve our own hygiene. Maybe it's a beautiful thing, the concept of tahara, the purification. Allah is purifying the world through coronavirus, and then giving us the hint that we should emphasize the concept of purity and cleanliness, because it's part of the faith and it's part of what we should do. Even if you don't do it for faith, you should do it for health. And a lot of people are getting into that now, getting flushes instead of using bathroom tissues, for instance, is becoming a very hot item. It's important. People are becoming more cognizant of washing hands frequently, it's a very important thing, especially in the food industry. A lot of people were not really taking this seriously. There's a lot of positive things if you look at it this way. We just finished Ramadan, so this is a moral boost. I know it's heartbreaking to see the Kaaba without the usual crowd and so on and so forth. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ways and means and hikmah, wisdom of everything that happened around us. Only Allah give few people the honor of those who serve and clean the Masjid al-Haram and Mecca and Medina, those to be the people who pray on regular basis. Because maybe we took things for granted. We took the masjid for granted. Or we took I'm going to get on the plane, I'm going to go online and book a trip for Umrah, Hajj, and easy. You really need to go back to the Quran. Sayyidina Ibrahim, make a lot of people's heart belong to Mecca, to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to have this, extreme desire and wish and really, really, really passion that you need to go to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to go to Masjid al-Madinah to say salam to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, and that should be it. So if we are doing it just because of the movements and rituals and just doing the quote unquote, the going through the motions of routine, that's not what Allah wants. We want to go back to the sincerity and the effort, the pure effort, you know, to get back to closer to Allah. And maybe if we do that, and if we do the job description to enjoin what's right and forbid what's wrong, as so much corruption and mischief that's happening around, we can offer a new solutions and new, you know, way of things that we could make, you know, people, for instance, fight hunger, fight, you know, anxiety, fight, you know, disease, fight, you know, stress, and bring solutions to the world and humanity. And that is our job. That is the job of a believer, and certainly the Muslims have to be in the forefront of that. So it is what it is, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made this, although some people look at it ominously, but we look at it optimistically from a point of view that, yes, there's a great opportunity to do a lot of khair, a lot of good deeds, and that could be a platform through Guidance TV to really uplift everyone and make sure that we transform into better Muslims, into better believers, into better you know, people who really put the faith in action. We cannot be mediocres anymore, and we cannot go with business as usual anymore. And people, you know, kind of sometimes sleep through Jummah khutbah and all that, and just kind of being there but not being there, you know. So we you know, we need to get back to Allah in a serious way and renew our faith and put it into practice.
That's
MashaAllah.
Yes. Dr. Sultan, you want to add anything to that?
No, I think Dr. Adil was very eloquent. One of the things that reminded me was that we talked about before too, that when after conquer of Makkah, a lot of people started becoming Muslim, accepting Islam and Islam and Islam and Islam. And Allah Ta'ala in Quran said that, yes, you have accepted Islam, but Iman has not entered your hearts yet. So the whole essence of becoming Muslim is to see that Iman has entered your hearts, which when Iman enters your heart, it changes all your external actions according to what Allah Ta'ala wants you to do. I can say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, but if I'm not, so I'm a Muslim by definition, but if I'm not following all the commandments of Allah Ta'ala, it means that Iman has not entered in our hearts. And this is what Dr. Adil was talking about, that yes, we went to Makkah, yes, we went for Hajj, we went to regularly mosques, but half time sleeping, half time listening. So now it should give a second thought and serious thought that I'm going to masjid, just not because a routine on a Friday I do it, but because I'm going over there to get some benefit from there, learn something from there, and be conscious all along during khutbah and during namaz and salah.
Okay.
And may want to just now we're talking diverting back to the hearts talk, and if you would allow me just for 60 seconds to mention a few things that actually fit very well to Dr. Sultan's few ayat from the Quran about the hearts as we go through the heart series.
I love to listen to the Quran talk about the hearts, because this is something that I have always felt all my life, that I wanted to hear what God has to say about our inner feelings and spirituality. Go ahead.
Inshallah. And we discussed before in Surah Al-Imran that was so exceptional that فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. Well, only with the mercy of Allah that your heart have been softened. That Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ. If you were harsh, tough, and rough, and thick-hearted, لانفضوا من حولك. They would all left you, and everybody will be dispersed with you. فاعف عنهم. Even those who kind of did, things that are wrong, and also astaghfir lahum, and even make istighfar, ask God to forgive them. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. We talked about in Islam, there is a consensus building. And that's really what it comes to unity. And that we need to bring that consensus that everybody, okay, I listen to you, you listen to me, we have different opinion. But at the end of the day, we should have a consensus about what we go and do it together and move forward together. And then we do it with the concept of tawakkul ala Allah, that we have done our best. Now we're going to take the decision to move forward, and we count on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us and support us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also in reference to the hypocrites, because the hypocrites they say with their mouth what's not in their hearts. They may have in the heart, they conceal something, but they say something with their mouth, which is a totally different. Wallahu a'lamu bima. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's in their hearts. And even if they try to conceal it or to say something different when it comes with their lip service. In Surah An-Nisa, verses 63, أولئك الذين يعلم الله ما في قلوبهم فأعرض عنهم وعظهم وقل لهم في أنفسهم قولا بليغا. Oh, Allah knows for sure what those people, what's in their hearts. فأعرض عنهم, you just kind of turn away from them. وعظهم, and then you kind of preach them and teach them and so on. وقل لهم في أنفسهم قولا بليغا. And maybe with this gentle approach that they may kind of get back on track and get back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And again, for those, in Surah An-Nisa, verses 155, فَبِمَا نَقْضِهِمْ مِيثَاقَهُمْ وَكُفْرِهِمْ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ. For those, people that have forged and have not fulfilled their mithaq, their treaty, their covenants with Allah, وَكُفْرِهِمْ, and disbelief بآيات الله, in the verses of Allah, وَقَتْلِهِمْ الْأَنْبِيَاء, and they're murdering the prophets بغير حق, for no reason. وَقَوْلُهُمْ قُلُوبُنَا غُلْفٌ, and they said we just got a kind of lock, a covering on our hearts. بَلْ طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهَا. Allah put a stamp, and we're going to see this a lot repeated in so many verses, especially when it comes to Quran. When Allah put a stamp on somebody's heart, this is related to a lot of, in a bad way, that this is in the kafir. Allah will put the stamp on their heart, بِكُفْرِهِمْ, for their deeds, and the disbelief in فَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. And when they do believe, they have very, very little or none or no belief at all. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at this juncture to really, help us to not to have be among those who طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ. And we're going to see this in so many ways and ayat. Allah could put chain on the heart. Allah could put a barrier on their heart. قُلُوبُهُمْ غُلْف, that they have just a layer around the heart that will not be receptive of any guidance or anything. This is and not a good sign, but this may be a kind of a cause-effect results for what their deeds and what they have caused, of disbelief and disrespect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that they have made their hearts hardened so much that they will change the meaning of things, that they will on purpose manipulate things that Allah have, and then they said it. Allah said, well, Allah never said that, and that's a huge sin when somebody claims something on the behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then when they say by their mouth what their hearts have not really believed. And so this is a sign of hypocrisy. When you have this dissociation, if you would, between what's being said by mouth and what's believed in the heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us say what we believe, and the two will be on the same wavelength. There's no hypocrisy. Everything we say and express, it is the true, honest reflection what's in our hearts.
Ameen.
Dr. Adil, when you were talking about Allah Ta'ala, when put a seal on the heart, then no one can open it. Me and Sheikh Yusuf were talking about one very interesting question somebody posed and said that if shaitan comes to, Iblis come to Allah Ta'ala and apologizes for his all the mistakes and things he did, do you think Allah Ta'ala will forgive him after doing so many sins and misguiding people? And I was shocked. I did not know. She did not know the answer. So Allah Ta'ala replied, yes, I would. But the point I know is that he would not ask me for forgiveness. So his heart is sealed, and even though Allah Ta'ala is such a forgiver, but he would not even ask for, sincerely come to Allah Ta'ala and say, please forgive me all the blunders or all the sins I have made since the inception of mankind.
To echo that, if you, come to a time when the Pharaoh of Egypt was about to be drowned, and then in the Red Sea, and then and I meant to believe, with the same God that the people of Israel believed in, and he didn't even say Allah or anything, but Allah said, and now that you're drowning and dying, this is too late already, buddy. We're not going to give you another life, and this is gonna. So if Allah loves someone, no matter how sinful it is, Allah's shirk, make a partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah give that person always a second and a third chance to give back to Allah and forgive the sins, and then kind of, unless he does not insist on doing the same sin and doing, as long as you do good tawbah and repentance, the doors of mercy to Allah is always open and unlimited. But those who insist, but then when it comes the moment of death, like somebody's gargling, that's too late already.
Yeah, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this. Guys, stay tuned, stay guided. We're guided. Hey kids, you can recite the Quran on TV. That's right, beginning right now. Record your favorite surah or ayah of Quran in Arabic. Upload your videos, as many as you like. Tell your relatives and friends to rate your video on reciteontv.com. Do it now. Hey kids, you can...
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out. Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness that Muhammad.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
Okay, we're back. Now you know how to donate. Donate to Islam. Yes, sir. Because when you donate for Guidus TV, you're donating for Islam. You're donating for, actually, through the Estes Heritage Foundation. And I would like to suggest, I was just talking to the doctors about this while we were in the break, I would like to suggest for everybody to maximize your rewards with Allah. I want you to get the most reward with Allah, and I want me to get the most reward with Allah, and all of us, the doctors including, of course. I would like for us to maximize rewards. How can we do that? Number one is to be sincere in what we're doing, to be sure that Allah will accept it. And if it's only 99% for Allah, He's not going to make up the other 1%. It has to be, the Islam itself has to be pure for Allah. We cannot mix it with anything else. We cannot. All right? So that's number one, the sincerity. And number two is to consider others and share this so that other people can take advantage of these rewards, because you'll get the same reward that they get. And how else can I maximize it? Yeah, this is the third way. The third way is to do something monthly, or it doesn't have to be monthly, but it should be regularly. And that's the implication. The Prophet ﷺ, he didn't say that it has to be monthly. He said regularly, the meaning that you should get ongoing. Just keep doing it. So we have it set up so that you can do monthly. When you go to the website, Donate to Islam, you can choose to do this monthly. And when you do it monthly, guess what? Allah says, well, the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah is saying that He loves the thing which is done regularly. The good deeds that are done regularly, even if they're small, more so than the thing which is big, but you only did it once. So try to do this regularly. And I was just telling the doctors, if somebody said, I want to donate $1,000, that's good. I mean, we'd be so happy. But at the same time, if somebody else said, I would like to do $50 a month and just keep it going forever, I would much rather make dua for this and humbly accept this offering, because guess what? You'll get more reward, we get more reward, and we keep it going. And when I'm in the qabr, when I'm in the grave, I really need to see that this is going on. And I'll be helpless. I won't be able to do anything. So you guys keep it going. Well, how are you going to keep it going if there's no funding? So if we have 10,000 people that donate $1,000, $2,000, whatever, but they only do it once, I guarantee you 1 year from now we'll be broken, we'll be out of business. It's guaranteed, because we have to have our monthly nut cracked. That's what they say in the business world, okay? Now let me come on back to the doctors. I got enough of that out of my system. And Dr. Adil, you were on a break, so we're expecting you to give us some more talking. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, if you would allow me, I have a lot of more ayat that actually, along the same theme.
Concerning the heart, you got all the time you need. Go ahead. Habibi, my loved one.
With Dr. Sultan.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoever is watching this, guys, you need to call in and ask questions. And make sure that we know that you're listening and you're interacting and you're enjoying and hopefully learning and hopefully benefiting, maybe feeling a little less stress, maybe a more upbeat, more optimism. And that's really what's the whole purpose of this platform. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, for instance, just remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, بِمَا نَقْضِهِمْ مِيثَاقَهُمْ لَعَنَّاهُم. Those who they have forged and they have not fulfilled their treaty, with a treaty with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they've been cursed for that. وَجَعَلْنَا قُلُوبُهُمْ قَاسِيَةً. And we have made their hearts so unbelievably cruel and heartless. يحرفون الكلمة عن مواضعه. They will actually manipulate and change and alter the words, God, from where it was supposed to be. ونسوا حظا مما ذكروا به. And they will actually intentionally, and then have forgotten, a part of what they've been reminded with. And this is why and at this point, even with those people who have done this, what is the ayah said? وَاعْفُ عَنْهُمْ وَاصْفَحْ. وَاعْفُ عَنْهُم, forgive them. وَاصْفَحْ, forgive and forgive. This is not easy. This is so big for those who have done all these, big sins. Inna Allah yuhibbul muhsinin. Allah would love those who actually do the job their best ability possible, and they will be kind, even for those who kind of did a lot of sins. So the door of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is wide open. Madam tugharghir, till the point that comes, if you ever see any patient in ICU or intensive go like this before they go into the final stages before the angel of death comes. And I'm sorry to say that. I said, what are you talking about? This is supposed to be, but this is life. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us what all these things, and given as long as your heart beating, do good deeds, guys. Do good deeds before when the time is up. I could be driving the morning and a big truck comes in, or it could be in your sleep, or it could be anywhere. So as long as you're prepared to meet your Creator and Lord with good deeds, that's your credit line that you're going to need so badly. And we discussed the fact that the hypocrites, there is a dissociation, if you would, between what their mouth said. قالوا آمنا بأفواههم. This is Surah Al-Ma'idah 41, verse 41. قالوا آمنا بأفواههم. We believe in it with our mouth. وَلَمْ تُؤْمِنْ قُلُوبُهُم. But their heart did not believe. So if the heart believed, and they are in the same wavelength, and there's no disconnection, then the mouth will match, whatever comes in the mouth will match what's felt in the heart. And that's really the honest, truthful people. أولئك الذين لم يرد الله أن يطهر قلوبهم. For those people who have this dissociation between what the mouth said and what the heart didn't believe, Allah did not want to purify their hearts. لهم في الدنيا خزي. They have shame in this life. ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم. They have shame and disgrace. خزي في الحياة الدنيا. ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم. And they will have, huge torment and punishment on the day of judgment. On the other side, an absolute contrast to that, a whole new 3D image, a picture right now taken in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 52. And again, you see those people, though they have sickness in their heart. We're afraid that something bad is going to hit us. And أو أمر من عندك فيصبحوا على ما أسروا في أنفسهم نادمين. Then they will, forget that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give an order, and then they will come and regret what they have done. And Allah again in Surah Al-A'raf verses 100, كذلك يطبع الله على قلوب الكافرين. This stamp, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يطبع, طباعة, printing. So this is a common theme of printing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put on the hearts of the disbelievers. So they will end up, and again in Surah Al-A'raf verses 171, لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها. They have hearts, but the hearts don't mean that they understand anything with these hearts. They don't comprehend anything with the hearts. And this is like a worst category, that they could be worse than animals when they have these hearts that doesn't comprehend, that doesn't understand, that doesn't follow the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will actually fall in a much lower category. And in Surah Al-Anfal in verses 9, 10, and 11, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said this beautiful bushra, good news and glad tidings. وَمَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ, that's Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِلَّا بُشْرَى, glad tidings, وَلَتَطْمَئِنُّ بِهِ قُلُوبُكُمْ, and they will calm your hearts. وَمَا النَّصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ, and victory only comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only if we know that the victory or anything in our lives will only come from Allah. Because some people may get deceived and they think because of the strength of the resources that they guaranteed winning. The nasr, the true victory comes from Allah. Again, the concept of yarbat means tie. When Allah said, I'm tying on the heart, this is a sign of assurance. Where everybody, kind of go through a stressful situation, and people go into a panic mode and so on and so forth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would use this beautiful expression, Allah will bring assurance and calmness on the heart. So the literal meaning, yarbut is tie. It's like yarbut al-hizam, to tie the shoes or tie the tie, or, it's a tie, yarbut. So if Allah would make this rabat, this is tie on the hearts, meaning Allah will put calmness and tranquility on their heart. On the other verse, سَأُلْقِي فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, Allah will throw in panic and fear and severe anxiety and horror in the hearts of the disbelievers. So that's Allah is saying that. سَأُلْقِي فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Allah will throw in, horror in the hearts of the disbelievers. That Allah is capable of delivering that. إِنْ إِذْ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ. The hypocrites will come back, and again, the hypocrites usually come along with those who have sickness in the hearts, the sickness of hypocrisy. غَرَّ هَؤُلَاءِ دِينَهُمْ. We don't know about those guys. Maybe they're on the wrong track, but it's a very kind of false narrative, a false statement that the hypocrites are making, and those who have sickness in the heart, they're actually making a statement on the believers. And again, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. If you put the trust of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Aziz, Aziz from the Izzah, from the power, and Hakim. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has hikmah and wisdom, for every situation. So if we have this, that will be a good guidance, for our way of life, to match what the tongue says and in the heart, they're all in the same frequency, to deliver the message to Allah. And even in the time of hardship, if we hang in there and have a trust in Allah, Allah would have rabat ala qulubikum. Allah will put calmness and tranquility and peace in our hearts, no matter what happened out there that could be looked at as turmoil and doom and gloom and all that. Allah will put sakina, and this is what we should be spreading right now, peace and tranquility.
I really like that. That resonates real well with my heart, because I know that the Quran is the actual speech of Allah. It's not something that was reinterpreted by others. If you listen to the Quran itself, it is pure and it's beautiful, and I really love that. You mentioned one of the ayahs to us, and I really, this is chapter 5, verse 41. You mentioned Surah Ma'idah. Ya ayyuhar Rasulu, and that means that the Almighty Allah, He's talking to our prophet.
Yes.
Yeah, and so let me see if I can pull that up. I hit the wrong button just now. Hold on one second. Yeah, this should pull it up. Let me see if this works. Yeah, there we go. Now I got to get the audio for it. All right, now we can do that. And then go back to it again. Wow. This is a lot of stuff here. Anyway, yeah, here we go. So this is the ayah. No, it doesn't say that we're, still doesn't indicate that we're on that. I don't know. Let me see if we get it. Anyway, so I hope that people can hear this.
They say that we believe with their mouths.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm not sure that we're transmitting the audio out there. So yeah, let me click it off. I'm going to go back just to us and talk about it. I'm sorry, I tried to put it up there, guys, but I guess you couldn't hear it. So we'll just talk about it. I'll keep it focused here so that I can look at it, though. And it says Ayu Rasul, Ya Ayu Rasul, and that means that Allah is talking directly to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And then he uses the term that if you want to know what la means in Arabic, just go around the Imam an Arabic mother who has a bunch of little kids around her, or even one child, and you're going to hear this word again and again. La, 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 ilaha illallah, Allah. La means no, 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 no.
You must have been around to witness this because you say it so good.
Well, whenever we talk about languages, I look for the things that communicate the meaning of something real easy. And if I say that, I know that the next time somebody sees this la, I'm going to try to highlight it. I don't know if I can do that. Yep, it will highlight. Let me highlight it right now. And again, I don't know if anybody can hear me talking, but there, I've got it highlighted. And that you saw highlighted was la. It looks kind of like a big V, but it means la. And that means no. That's a very clear no way. Then Allah goes on to say that yahzunka. Is that right? Yahzunka.
Yahzunka. Don't be saddened. Don't be saddened.
Yeah, there's another expression that you can say, la tanza. Right?
La tahzan.
Yeah, tahzan. There was a famous book written by that title, and they translated to English from Arabic as "Don't Be Sad," and that's a real great book. I used that book. I don't know if you're familiar with that book, but I got the English translation. One time I was at a conference, and a person came up to me. He said, "I'd like to know more about Islam." And I said, listen, I'm walking up to the stage right now. I've got to go into the conference room and go to the stage. I don't have time, but let me, and I stopped by a bookstore. I knew his books, the bookstore owner. And I looked over and I grabbed that book because I said, listen, if you read this book, you'll understand the benefits of Islam. You will not be sad. And he took the book, and when I came back by, the person there told me, he said, you don't owe me for the book, because I tried to pay him for the book. And again, and he said, no, do it. He said, by the way, the guy accepted Islam. Reading the book, standing there reading the book, and he accepted Islam. So, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So I do know the solution. If you've got a problem of being sad, and you're in anxiety right now, you're depressed, you're not happy with yourself, you're not happy with your surroundings, for sure, people have found the solace, the peace, the security, and overcome all kinds of depression just by reading the translation of the Quran. How much more if you could hear it? And I'll attempt to play that, but I don't guarantee that we're going to be able to hear it. So,
Ya ayyuha.
يا أيها الرسول لا يحزنك الذين يسارعون في الكفر من الذين قالوا آمنا بأفواههم ولم تؤمن قلوبهم ومن الذين هادوا سماعون للكذب سماعون لقوم آخرين لم يأتوك يحرفون الكلم من بعد مواضعه يقولون إن أوتيتم هذا فخذوه وإن لم تؤتوه فاحذروا ومن يرد الله فتنته فلن تملك له من الله شيئا أولئك الذين لم يرد الله أن يطهر قلوبهم لهم في الدنيا خزي ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم.
Yeah, and for the benefit of those who maybe you couldn't hear it, I don't know, but the translation says, "O Rasulullah," the messenger of Allah. God is talking to him straight up. He said, "Don't let them grieve you they're hurrying up in their disbelief. Those who say we believe with their mouths, but the iman or their hearts don't really believe yet. And from among the Jewish, there were by the way, there were a lot of Jews in Medina at that time. Some of them became some of the best of the Muslims, by the way. But there were those who were listening, but not really hearing, if you know what I'm saying. And they're the ones that it says they're avid listeners to falsehood, listening to other people who have not come to you. They distort words beyond their proper usage. And they say, if you are given this, take it. But if you weren't given it, then beware. But he for whom Allah intends this discord or fitna, chaos, never will you possess for him a thing against the law. This means no matter what anybody does, they're not going to affect Allah at all. And we're getting a symbol call right now. This is the one that we got to wrap up everything with, guys. First of all, Dr. Adolf, thank you so much for your patience in working with us tonight. Thank you so much. And Dr. Sultan, thank you as well. I really want to thank you guys, both of you, so patient to spend 2 hours with us tonight. And hopefully we'll be able to do another 2 hours tomorrow, and that will be amazing, you know. So I was wondering. Yes, go ahead.
I was wondering, can people call in for their medical questions also? Because
I hope they do. I want to be sure that they know that, because the whole reason to have doctors during this pandemic is, of course, we love to have you anytime, and we love to have any of the Muslims that have knowledge about Islam to come on and be with us. But in particular, this is why we've been specializing for the last 3 months, every night, to have somebody that could answer the questions as reasonably as possible, as simple as possible, and of course from the Islamic perspective. For instance, and I'll just give you one example only, but if somebody was saying, well, you could take this kind of medicine, but it has pork in it, then we should probably stay away from it. But that'd be up to you guys to tell them what to do, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Now there's choices. So most of the covering, the shell of the tablets, are either become vegetable, vegetarian or halal based. So there's non-pork. So this technology now becomes so easy, so available. So the people used to have this medication or this, toothbrush toothpaste or mouthwash that has alcohol is something from the past, because now there's a lot of choices out there. It's non-alcohol, non-pork products.
Whoa, you just told me something I didn't know. I thought we had to be very careful about these capsules now, and still about the mouthwash and things like that. But you're saying that they've overcome a lot of that, because they probably, I'm just guessing now, but maybe because they do have a large Jewish community, and they are the same as us, and a large Muslim community as well. They're telling us we got to get off the air. We got to go. All right, so with that, we'll roll out of here. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey kids, you can recite the Quran on TV. That's right, beginning right now. Record your favorite surah or ayah of Quran in Arabic. Upload your videos, as many as you like. Tell your relatives and friends to rate your video on reciteontv.com. Do it now. Hey kids, you can recite the...
Here are some ways to get Goddess TV. Via